My first kiss went a little like this. Mwah. I missed. Mwah, mwah, I missed. Hey YouTube, it's Sunday.
Why are you such a copycat?
So as you probably guessed, today I'm gonna tell you about my first kiss. It was kind of horribly awkward and weird, and yes, I was 16 when it happened, okay? You shut up. Now, I don't really think it's a big deal to have your first kiss later than some people. I mean, it's definitely a little bit overrated. Not that it isn't nice, it's just... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking now. So my first kiss happened my junior year of high school. It was with a guy who was in the show Guys and Dolls with me. We're doing the musical second semester that year, and I played Adelaide, and it's still my favorite role to this day, and I really miss her, and I want to play her again. Crazy and wild and free, marry the man to die, give him the girlish laughter. So in light of that, we're gonna call him Nathan. He didn't play Nathan. That guy is a whole nother story, to be honest, but it's still fitting. So Nathan and his friend... Fuck it. We're just gonna call him Detroit. You know, Nathan and his buddy Detroit. Nathan, Detroit. I need to stop. So this was their first and last show with our school since they were second semester seniors. And by second semester seniors, I mean they were seniors and it was second semester, but that seemed important at the time. So neither of them were really actors. Both of them actually played soccer, I think. I know Nathan played soccer. I don't know about Detroit, but he played some kind of sport, and I think it was soccer. But anyway, so I guess like both of them were just like specifically interested in Guys and Dolls and being in that show. And both of them were actually really talented. Like they were both great actors, and Detroit had a golden voice. I don't know what that voice was. Now Nathan was blonde and kind of short and stocky, which like same. I'm just kidding. He always kind of had like this stoic expression going on, and now I think that was probably mostly awkwardness, but back then I thought he was so cool because of it. I was like, ooh, he's like tough and like cool. I don't really know. It was a weird thing. But yeah, he played the big tough guy whose name I can't remember right now. Like Big something, I don't know. He had like a scar on his cheek. So Connor and I, as was very common back then, both had a crush on both of them, ironically. And I actually kind of had more of a crush on Detroit at first, which is hilarious. But after a while, Connor was like, I'm not really into Nathan. I really like Detroit. So we decided that Connor could pursue Detroit and I would pursue Nathan, and there would be no hard feelings anyway. Anyway, Nathan and I started talking throughout the show a little bit, kind of becoming friends, but nothing really had happened that was worth noting between us by the end of the show, so I kind of thought it was a lost cause. Then I started noticing that every single day, like right when I was going to lunch, he walked through the student center, which was right outside of the cafeteria, and we would always cross paths every single day. I don't know why I hadn't noticed before. Maybe he had just started doing it. I don't really know. So the first few times, like I stopped and I talked to him, and it was like, you know, normal or whatever, and then I started hugging him, and then it literally got to the point where I would wait for him in the student center, and when I'd see him, I'd like give him a big hug, and we'd like talk just a little bit, then he'd have to go to class or wherever it was that he was going. It was probably class, whatever it was, high school, probably class. And that was like our daily routine for, I mean, the whole last bit of school. Every single day it was like that. And then at the end of the year, I had him sign my yearbook, which I still have. So I'm gonna read you what he wrote. And I, you know, went by Amber back then, so that's the name that he used. Amber, will you marry me? There's a little green heart there too. Will you marry me? We can both get famous together, and I can be the next Johnny Depp and you can be the next Taylor Swift, for lack of a better candidate. What can I say? I have loved getting to know you, and it sucks S-U-X, not like S-U-C-K-X, or not S-U-C-K-S like most normal people spell it, like that's how it's supposed to be spelled. No, S-U-X. It sucks that I'm leaving, but you will always be in my heart, and I hope we can hang out after I graduate. I-L-Y, also known as I love you, and then he signed it, so, you know, Nathan. I swooned over this signature for like, oh my god, so long. I literally like reread it like 4 times after he wrote it, and like I was like reading it to all of my friends. I showed my sister and my brother, and I like, it's kind of sad honestly. Sips tea at self. So naturally, I was just swooning all over the place. Super smooth. After that, I, a person who literally has no idea how to flirt and really barely understands flirting when you're flirting with me, like I'm oblivious to that whole thing, I started actively trying to flirt with him because of the ILY, like all of that, and I was like, oh my god, he's in love with me, I'm gonna start trying to flirt with him. So we started actually meeting up a lot more. Like we would still meet up right before lunch every day, but we also started meeting up after school every day. Like, so he would wait outside the band room for me, and I would like stand out there and talk to him for a few minutes, and then I would hug him by, like we would like stand there and hug for an awkward like 5 full seconds, and then I'd go to my bus and be on my way, and etc. And we started messaging on Facebook, which actually I still have some of those messages too, so. Literally the first message that I sent him was, wow, LOL. It's amazing how people are still on midnight XD. Hi. And then all he said was, I love you. I was like, really? And he said it was primarily to see your reaction, but I won't deny it. Oh my god! Okay, I used to do like code names back in high school. Greg from the Storytime, which you'll see soon, that guy, I called him Owl for the longest time, and there was also Pretty Pink Sparkly Unicorn because I didn't know what else to call him. There was Koala Bear, there was Kitty Cat, wow, like I was obnoxious, and so I decided to do a Pooh Bear character for some reason. I messaged him and said, haha, random question, and it's gonna sound a little funny, but who's your favorite Pooh Bear character? Like, if you had to pick a random one, who would it be? I was literally asking him to pick his own nickname. I never gave it much thought, but I would say if everyone is like I am, the owl is my favorite, and then failed attempt at referencing the play, which I don't know what. The ironic thing about that was, wait, did I have a crush on him by that point? I didn't even have Owl by that point. I was about to say, like, that must have been me being like, oh, LOL, but like, you can't be Owl because there's already an Owl, but I don't think I had a crush on Greg at that point yet. Yeah, he wound up being Eeyore. That was what I named him because he was so stoic all the time. This is the last message I'm gonna read from this until later. There's one more that I want to read. And I finally told him I liked him on June 8th, 2011. This was like during the exam, so like right before the end of the year, right before like the whole thing happened, which I'll get into in a minute. Okay, so looking over that message, I realized that I still haven't said what I really wanted to. I ... never told you outright that I like you, like a lot. I really, like with like 4 Ys, wish that I could just go back in time to the beginning of Guys and Dolls and, well, I don't know, but do something different. Say something before now, before you're leaving. I just wish that you weren't a senior and that I had at least one more day with you at school. You know, I was planning on just going ahead and kissing you on Monday. The thing is, I chickened out. Also, Rose wanted to hurry up and go to the bus. I was nervous. I was scared I would mess something up. Then after you left, I was like, no, I'm being stupid. So I was going to kiss you yesterday. Then I didn't even see you. Sad face. I don't think you came to school, did you? Well, I was really excited because I thought I was going to have a good bit of time with you today, Wednesday, and I was totally going to do it today, but I didn't even get to see you. Needless to say, or is it? I was really upset. That's why my status said that I was sad. It's funny, I've never been sad about summertime before, sad face, but I am now. Will I see you at all tomorrow? Shut up, Kai, why are you still talking? If you can, could you maybe hang out in the band room tomorrow morning so I could see you for just a bit? Possibly, please? If you can't and you'll be there with nothing to do, then during the exam, I'll probably be in Miss Pendleton's room in the 700 building. For 4th, I'll probably be going in the band room with Jessie. Feel free to come by if you want. And I'm sorry that this message is really long, and I'm sorry that I sent another one before, and I'm sorry that I'm probably annoying you right now, but I needed to say all of this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the chance before the year's out. I just wanted you to know that I like you so much, and I have since the first time I saw you, the first rehearsal, I guess. Since I have to go to bed anyway, and this is already really long, I'll just stop there. I really hope I can see you tomorrow. Night! And this is his response. I fully understand, and I don't need to go to school anymore, but there are some things that I could take care of if I went to school, so I think I may end up going to school on Friday to take care of those things, but I have to be at graduation practice at 2:30 on Friday in SC, so it would likely be brief. I suggest we meet up somewhere else outside of school. BTW, if I see you at school, I have a ticket to graduation I would like to give you unless you are already attending. So just let me know when and where to find you on Friday, and I'll try to make everything else happen. BTW, I did go to the theater after the exam, but it was locked and abandoned, so needless to say, I believe we both need to meet up somewhere and talk things out and see where we stand. Wow. This whole thing is such a mess. So yeah, I guess it was on Friday that he like showed up at So yeah, I guess it was like Friday. I didn't remember all of these details until I read this. But I guess it was like Friday. He showed up at the band room right as I was like coming out of, you know, cafeteria, and like we met up there and I got all excited and I hugged him and blah, blah, blah. And I was with 2 of my other friends. So then he asked me if he could talk to me out in the hallway, and I told my other 2 friends, I was like, he wants to talk to me, and like put my bag down inside the band room. I don't know why I was so excited about talking, but whatever. So I went out into the hallway and he was like leaning against the wall, and the first thing that he said to me, not like hi, not how's it going, not like how did your exams go, or what have you been doing today, or whatever, anything normal, semi-normal like that. No, the first thing that he said to me was,
you can kiss me now if you want to.
So I immediately, awkward as ever, like no word, like completely wordlessly, just like pressed myself up against him, closed my eyes before I even got to his face, started like moving in, and I missed. I literally pressed my lips against his chin. And what's even worse than that, I didn't know what to do, so I just like awkwardly stood there like on my tiptoes, just pressed against him, like eyes closed, mouth just like on his chin. His little stubble was like poking my lips. It was the most awkward thing, and we just like stood there for like 5 excruciating moments. It might have been seconds, it might have been full minutes, I don't know, but it felt like a year. And then he finally pulled away and we started talking. We were talking about like us and like whether or not we should pursue it, whether it would be smart, blah blah blah, if I wanted to go to graduation. We didn't really come to a conclusion on much of anything. We were like, well, I guess we'll talk about it later, because he had to leave. Then he looked at me and he was like,
one more for the road?
I need wine in this, not tea. So pretty much the whole time that we were talking, he had been leaned up against the wall, like he was whenever he first, you know, did the thing. And I was still like pressed up against his chest. We just like didn't move the whole time. It was kind of awkward. He kissed me, and he didn't miss. He, you know, actually got my lips because he knows how to kiss a person like a normal human being. It was nice and all, like it was fine, but we stayed there for so long. Like not like, you know, making out, not like kiss kiss or like, you know, like making out, not even moving a little bit. We were both just like dead still. Like he's just standing there like this with his arms around me and I'm just standing there like this. It was awkward. I mean, our eyes were closed, but like we just didn't move. Just like faces pressed up against each other, not moving at all until Mr. Wallace, the band director, and some of the other students that were in there because they had like band and they had exempted their exams and or finished them, they walked back in from lunch and went, whoa, and so we broke apart. And I was so excited because when we broke apart, our lips made the sound. I didn't think it was real. I was like, oh, it doesn't sound like that when you really kiss people. It does sometimes. And I was so excited about that. I literally replayed that sound in my head for days, maybe even weeks. Like it was forever. I was like so excited and I like got chills every time. It was. And then after that, you know, we were talking about it. He literally told me that he wanted to see if it would work out with other girls that he was talking to at the time before he would pursue something with me specifically, like a monogamous thing. And then proceeded to be like, but you know, if we stay committed to each other and wait for each other, then like we can be together after I'm done with college or after you're out of high school or something like that. And I'm like, you're literally talking to like 10 other girls and not wanting to be with me in case it works out with one of them, and you want me to stay committed and wait for you? Oh no, not gonna happen. I was naive and stupid and etc, but I wasn't that, well I was, but I wasn't about to do that. So yeah, that's that story. We don't really talk much anymore, mostly because like I just don't really care much either way anymore, and just, you know, also we just, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that mortifying story. It was weird to retell and relive in my head, but you know, fun stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be about all for this week. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, basically, for more story times and random weird shit, because, you know, my life. I've also left the links to all my social media down in the description box below, including my Patreon and my Twitter, so find me on there and do the thing. And yeah, I love you guys so, so much. Stay awkward, Macchiatos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube, it's Sunday. We thought you died. Fuck it, I'm dead. Little boulder. Whiplash, sorry. Subscribe. Anyway, kind of psycho mode. What? Macchiatos? Same. Woohoo! Why does this shit happen to me?
Why are you such a copycat?
I'm glad to hear that, but that begs the question, what did you think of what I wrote in your yearbook? Haha, yup, him and Nicolas Cage and Brendan Fraser, haha, I loved it. It was one of my favorites, actually, haha. Very ... unique. Why?